I want to show you a command that is not well known inside of the Cisco iOS. It's specifically the archive command. So if you're well versed in this archive command, then you could watch this video. But I bet a lot of you actually have not used the archive command. We don't typically teach it inside of Cisco classes. And I've talked to people and I'm like, did you know about this command? And they're like, no. Okay. So here's the archive command, and I just want to do some context-sensitive help. Archive allows us to package up the files or the logs or the config in our operating system. And one of the things that we sometimes find ourselves doing is taking all of the files and backing them up on a Cisco device. But if you don't know about this command, you really kind of have to do that individually. So let's say we wanted to copy to a TFTP server. We might copy an individual file. So I'll actually do a dir. And you would go through and say, all right, I want to copy maybe this particular file. But when it comes to the directories that are inside of our operating system, indicated with the flag, the D, we can't just copy an entire directory. And if we have nested directories, which we get with our operating system, this becomes really cumbersome and not really actually practical at all. So we need a better way to take all of the files inside of our operating system, package them up neatly, and then shove them wherever we need them via a file transfer protocol, maybe to a USB stick, wherever it may need to go. Okay, so I want to show you how to take this archive command, and then what I want to do is I actually want to back up the entire file system on this device. So it's going to take everything. Now this is a router, so it's actually not going to take things like the running config, but it will take all of the files that you see inside of Flash. So the next argument that I'm going to do is actually going to be TAR. So if you're not familiar with the TAR extension, the TAR extension is a tape archive extension. And its purpose was to simplify a complex file system for the purpose of sending it over to a tape backup array. What we're going to do is we're going to take that system, that file extension, and we're going to use it to our advantage to create a tar file in the destination that we want. So we could create a tar file and store it locally. We could create a tar file, and during the time we could send it via TFTP. And if you want to extract them later on, we can do that as well. So I'm going to create a tar file, and then we're going to create a name for this. So I'm on R2 right now, and I'm going to tuck this inside of a USB flash stick. And we're going to name it R2. Now, that's the command that I would do, but I want to show you that that does not exist yet. Okay, that does not exist yet. So I'm just going to copy that right now. And we're going to do a directory listing on USB flash 1. And we're going to see that there's no files currently inside of the flash system there on USB flash 1. So we're going to go back, and I'm going to paste in what I copied. So that's the destination. And where are we going to pull from? So if you're confused about the syntax in terms of this, remember that it's source and destination typically for a copy command. But in this case, it is actually the reverse, which takes a little bit of getting used to. So where are we pulling from? I'm going to say Flash, all of Flash. So regardless of what directory I'm currently in, if I had changed a directory, this is going to take everything in Flash and send it to the USB flash stick, which is currently, as you can see, it is currently empty. no files in Flash. Okay, so let's give that a whirl. I'm going to press enter there. And it's telling me, okay, so this is going to be a fairly large archive. It looks like it's 110 megs. Where did it get the 110 megs from? That is the operating system right there. But what's cool is it's also going to do everything here. It's going to take other files. It's going to do the lab configs. And see here, we have the numeric identifier for the files that are stored in Flash. It's just pretty arbitrary. But you can see there must be like about 63-ish files in this particular directory. And so it'll take those two, okay? It'll take those two. So it's currently archiving. This is one of those times where we're going to have to be patient. Let it send to the USB flash disk. So it took the majority of the time to copy, no surprise, the operating system. That's done, okay? And then it went through and copied a lot of the configs that allow us to push different configs to this device using the config replace command, which we won't talk about right now. So did that actually work? Did it take all of the files and send them to the USB flash stick? So I'm just going to go back, dir USB flash 1, and we can see that looks pretty good, right? And what's cool is it's a single file. It is a single file, and now I can move that, and I don't have to worry, did I miss a file? No. It told me all of the commands or all of the files that are going to be put in the archive. Looks pretty darn good. But proof is in the pudding. Let's actually now use that to restore our device. So I want to obliterate everything that is on my local flash right now. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to delete flash. I'm just going to kill everything. Everything will be gone in Flash. And that's a scary proposition, right? If you don't have the ability to get an operating system and all the configs and all of the requisite files back up. Okay, so I'm going to test that archive right now. Pretty cool, right? So there's nothing in Flash. If I were to reboot my device, which I'm not going to right now because that would be painful, I would be forced to doing slow mode restoration of the operating system, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So we're not masochists here. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go back. So this was the command you can see, archive tar create. That's the command that I used in order to construct the archive and push it to the USB flash stick simultaneously. So what I want to do is I want to kind of reverse this. And so the way to reverse it is to just take those arguments. And actually, let me make sure that I'm doing the arguments perfectly there. So the tar file name is actually, okay. So that's the tar file name. And we're just going to swap out create versus extract. Okay. So what this will do is it'll look at the tar file that is in the USB flash, and it will then balloon out. It'll explode. It'll decompress. Not that there's a lot of compression going on here. That's not the purpose of the tar. That's not the purpose of tar. So hit enter there, and it immediately tells us that it found that file because it's now decompressing the first file in that USB flash stick. It's going a little bit slow. The USB flash stick that I have is actually a really old USB flash stick. Good luck finding a USB flash stick that is compatible. Don't just assume any old flash stick will do, even if you format it the way that people tell you to. Okay, so that is the archive command. Let me walk you through it one more time, and you might want to take notes, okay? I would recommend you take notes because honestly, I've had to take notes. I put this in Notepad. So archive, don't forget about that. Then you're going to be creating a tar file. Where are you sticking the tar file and where are you pulling from? And then you merely just swap out create with extract. And don't you love the fact that they dropped off the E of extract? Go figure. But hopefully that's going to save you a little bit of time, save you headache, or allow you to do something you might not be very proactive with right now. And that is making snapshots of all your equipment. I would encourage you to do that. Sometimes we have to pluck and chuck our equipment, take it out of service and put in a device replacement. If you're replacing an entire device, how do you get everything back up, running the exact same operating system, having the same files? This is the best way to go. The archive command, I wish I had known about this a few years earlier.